Hi guys, welcome back to another tutorial. Today we are actually going to do dyed chalk. I'll show you how I dye my chalk. There's 3 different ways that I do it, so I'll show you all 3. So the first one, now I just have a block of RMSA chalk, whole, nothing too significant. What I like to do is to make sure the color actually gets in the chalk. What I like to do for if I do a whole block like this, I actually soak it in water. So we'll get it really wet. And the chalk just soaks up all the water. Flip it over. That should be enough. We'll let that soak for a minute. Then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put on some gloves because we're gonna be using gel food coloring, and I would use gel food coloring instead of powder coloring because you get more of an intense color. So right now I'm gonna use the America Color Soft Gel Paste in Teal. So what I like to do is I get this, put some on the chalk. Now you don't need very much because this is very intense. Pick up the chalk and you're gonna rub it all over the chalk. Once it's all rubbed in, then I do some more water. Just to make sure all of that color goes into that chalk. Do a little at a time, and then you get this cool design. Okay, so that is one way that I like to dye my chalk. So with this, since it's still pretty wet, you can keep it in the container for about 3 or 4 days, just until it gets, so the color is all in and it's not wet to touch. But then put it on a baking rack so it can completely dry. And then you know it's ready to crush when if you pick it up and it feels just like it was. Light, it's not heavy at all. That's how you know it's ready to crush. So this is the first way that I like to do it. The second way I like to do it is another block of RMSA. And you already mix food coloring with water. So, and I put this on a tray because I didn't want my table to get wet, but so this is the same food gel coloring in fuchsia, I believe. So you just mix that and then pour it on. So this looks like a lot of water, and it is, but what you can do is with a glove, again, just flip it over and let it soak in. And you can flip this over as long as there's water in there, it will soak it up. And do the same process of drying with this as the first block. So this will dry probably a little bit longer just because of how much water is in here. But just keep flipping it until it soaks it all up, and you can see the chalk is soaking it up right now. So let's just keep flipping this until it's all soaked up. Okay, so while that dries, this is my third technique of dyeing chalk. It's the same exact one as step 2 or the second technique, but the thing is we're going to break this up. So just break this up. Again, this is just RMSA into chunks, however big, little, small, whatever chunks you want. Okay, now this is what I like to do. As you can see, there's little chunks in there, so I actually take out the big pieces. So I've taken out all the big pieces and I have this as a result, and I like just to put this into my bag of RMSA chalk just to break up for a later date. So I'll put that over here, just because I don't like little chunks, and it's just, it leaves a residue at the bottom. So again, we'll put our big chunks back in and kind of arrange them so all of them are touching the bottom. So at least most of them are touching the bottom. That way, when they soak up the water, all of the pieces get about the same amount. So again, this is just gel food coloring with water, and you just pour it on. Okay, so this is poured on. And what you can do is, with the residual water, you can tilt it back and forth just to make sure all of the chalk gets something. And you can see that there's some chalk that doesn't have as much water in it or color in it, or still white, and that's okay because it gives it variety. I mean, not all chalk is the same. So that is those are my techniques of coloring chalk. So again, if you have any other questions, let me know. So again, just let it dry in the container until it's light and like it was before, and that way you know it is ready to crumble. If you have any other questions, let me know. But I will see you guys later. Love you. Bye.